What's up guys, Tony here, and today I'll be talking about a very interesting thing going on between Sony and Nintendo. So this was released this week, the news broke. So basically, Sony, they're going third party with Nintendo. This is crazy! This is nuts! It's like cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. Seriously, this is nuts. Really? So guys, I'm going to be talking about these details and more. So check out what I have to say, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, so this is really strange. Sony is going to go third party, and I'll explain all these details, with Nintendo. But really guys, this isn't the first time that this has happened between Sony and Nintendo. So back in the 90s, Nintendo and Sony were actually planning on making a system together. And they actually did make a system together. And that little system was called the PlayStation. 2 words. The Nintendo PlayStation. And it's a real thing. And Nintendo was basically going to go CD based. And it was pretty much just a Super Nintendo with a disc drive. And there were no real games developed for it. Terry Diebold, he actually discovered this a few years ago, and this blew up on YouTube, blew up in the retro gaming community, and it was just mind-blowing to see this thing in real life. I got to see it over the summer at Missouri Game Con. I got to hold this thing. I got to play this thing. It was a lot of fun. So Sony and Nintendo were working together at one point. So Nintendo actually gave the rights to some of their IPs to Philips CDI, and we know all about that mess. And Nintendo saw it, and they were either going to go cartridge with the the Ultra 64 at the time, or they were going to go disc-based and go the way of the Sony PlayStation. And they saw how horrible those games were. We all know how horrible those games are. Hotel Mario, the Zelda games, they're just atrocious. And I just think to myself, what if they actually took their time and made some good Zelda games? You know, maybe Sony wouldn't even have PlayStation 1 through 4 and the HD and all that. Maybe they wouldn't be as big of a juggernaut as they are in the gaming world today, and Nintendo and Sony could be working together, you know, and it would just be a totally like what if scenario. So they've worked together before. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, Imagesoft, that was a Sony company in the 90s. They would publish games on the Super Nintendo, and such great games like Hook. There was also Flashback, Last Action Hero, Three Ninjas Kick Back, and just Cliffhanger. A lot of movie-based games and licensed games. So some of them weren't all that great, but they still worked with Nintendo. They also worked with Sega at that time too. Sega CD, Sega Genesis games. So they have worked with Nintendo before. Okay, before they were in the console market with PlayStation through PlayStation 4. So this has happened before. Now another interesting thing while researching for this episode, vlog is that I didn't know this. Minecraft, they actually licensed that to Nintendo through the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that. So it's not like Microsoft isn't willing to do this either. So, but you're not going to see Halo on the Nintendo Switch, or Last of Us on the Nintendo Switch, or one of those big IPs for Sony or Microsoft. So I get it. I get it. So what's the dealio? What's going on here? How is Sony doing this? How is Sony going third party? So basically, this is through Sony Music, and it's a subdivision of Sony. They're divided up. PlayStation is a subdivision, even though it's like their biggest funded, most money-making division of Sony. So they're publishing it through Sony Music, and the company is named Unties. So this is really nuts to me, guys. It's crazy that this is going on, and they're actually producing a lot of games, a few games that are going to go on the Switch, the PlayStation 4, and PC. So they're going to, got my handy dandy cheat sheet here. The first game that's coming out is Tiny Metal, and it's a spiritual successor to Advance Wars. And I saw some footage of it. It looks pretty cool. I'm not a big Advance Wars fan. It's a fun game, but I was more into Fire Emblem on the Game Boy Advance. It's a good game. I'm not a huge fan of it, so don't throw stones, please. And that's coming out actually November 21st. So that's coming out soon. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. And the other games that are coming out, Last Standard, Mercarva Avalanche, and Demo Reborn. So there's some games coming out of this under Unties. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool that we're seeing this. Now again, we're not going to see Last of Us or Uncharted or games like that. We're not going to see that on any Nintendo Switch system anytime soon. We're not. But it's still cool. It's cool that this is happening in the gaming world. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, and is this a good idea? The Nintendo Switch has been very, very, very successful, and the Nintendo Switch has been very, very inviting to third parties, to these smaller companies to come in and work with them. And I think it's a great idea. What do you guys think? Are you excited for these games? Do you think that Sony is going to expand this a little bit with Nintendo? Who knows? Who knows at this point? So guys, if you have not subscribed to me, please do so. That is going to make you eligible for my Mario giveaway this month. At the end of the month, October 31st. If you are a subscriber to me, I will put you into a drawing, and you'll be eligible to win Mario 3, a Mario backpack with a Mario Kart 8 visor, and a Mario amiibo. So guys, that's all you have to do. Subscribe to me. So again, let me know what you think of all this. Sony and Nintendo working together. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.